Hello my dear friends, I'm Max, or Terrier 55 Stepney, and you'll be seeing plenty of me and presenter and historian Tim Dunn on the Audrey Extravaganza 5 livestream over the 18th to the 20th of July 2025. Now, leading up to this massive event at the Talyllyn Railway, we are sad because it is going to be the last extravaganza for a while. So I thought today I would throw in a little extra video on my own channel, completely unscripted. I want to go through the previous extravaganzas and pick out a random memory from each as a sort of homage to what has been a very happy few years for everyone at the railway, myself especially, because I got a purple shirt out of it, so that's all good. Anyone who's hoping to go to the extravaganza this year in 2025, I hope you enjoy it. Do come and speak to anyone in a purple shirt with the TR logo and the massive staff wording on the back if you need any assistance. And if you can't go in person, that's okay. As I've mentioned, we have a live stream on the Talyllyn Railway YouTube channel over all 3 days of the event. I have another video which has got a schedule of the whole itinerary. It's very exciting. I'm excited. So much so, here I am recording a video about the old events. Right, let's get into it. Audrey Extravaganza 1 was in 2021. Back then it was just the Audrey Extravaganza, because we didn't know there would be any more. Before they'd done sort of like Duncan Days and Peter Sam's Party, but nothing on this scale properly celebrating the books, or at least not since the Reverend himself was alive. Obviously, Skarloey engines have visited before and being painted in the colours, but it had been quite a while. So, it was quite a big occasion, especially just coming out of the pandemic, to have a big sort of gathering like this at the railway that he volunteered at. It felt very appropriate. And yeah, it obviously the Thomas fans swarmed in. One particular memory was the evening, which we had a lecture read by Tim Dunn, as you'll see on the live stream. He was reading the Railways of Sodor lecture, incomplete at that stage, but to the best that could be provided, and it was really emotional seeing the Awdry family there, and hearing the Reverend's words himself talking about the island of Sodor as the Skarloey engines were coming and going outside. That was special. But my particular memory from that event is after that, because that weekend also happened to be the beer festival at the Talyllyn, and that meant that a load of flat wagons were outside at wharf for people to use as seats and sit on. There were lots of drinks, of course. I think it might have sold out of beer by the end of the weekend, and there was a live band playing, and really lively atmosphere without all of the railway series stuff. You know, the lights went down, or the sun as it's also known, and it was just a really happy atmosphere. You know, there's people having a great time, and not using the wharf as its original purpose perhaps, but you know, certainly making the Talyllyn feel very alive at that moment. And then you sort of remember, oh yes, this is also the Audrey Extravaganza, and Tom Rolt comes back in, I guess as Ivo Hugh, into Wharf Station to a swarm of happy and slightly tipsy people, and I like to think that a lot of the people who were just there for the beer festival and had no idea about the railway series stuff going on would have been shocked out of their lives looking at this steam engine with the hideous ugly face on the front. Yeah, that was quite funny. Yeah, that was a good way to start the extravaganzas, I think. But wait, there was more. We came back the next year for the Audrey Extravaganza 2. I say we, I wasn't involved. I was very much just a visitor back then, and this year I got asked to go on the live stream as a guest, and that was very fun. I got to meet the Unlucky Tug for the first time, literally just thrown into the coach to be interviewed together before I'd ever even said hi to him, but all good fun. Everyone sort of upped what had been done the previous year. The Awdry family had supplied a lot of stuff from their own archives that meant that future extravaganzas could be possible, and people had more of an idea as to what they were expecting. And Luke did a great job with, obviously, like Peter Sam's face and all of that stuff. The extravaganzas have definitely got better and better each year. Can't wait to see what number 5 is like. My particular memory from that year was being at Wharf and, again, lively atmosphere, people coming to enjoy the Railway series stuff. I think the beer festival was put to another day that year. And Rusty was going up and down the Wharf, giving demonstration rides in the cab. And I remember we were waiting on the train to go up the line, and there was one child who just would refuse to let go of the whistle on Rusty. They did not go easy on the whistle.
No, go easy on the whistle.
And they just kept pulling the chain. One of the regular people at the Talyllyn is Steve, and he was driving Rusty that day, and you could see a slightly just pained expression on his face. He was just like, okay, we need to stop blowing the whistle now, otherwise Control Office at Wharf will think something's wrong. But no, it was all good fun. Everything was safe, and of course, like, you get the chance to go on a real engine, you're gonna want to blow the whistle, even if it is a diesel. So long as everyone's safe and having a good time, and not disrupting everyone else's enjoyment, that's okay. But yeah, quite funny to watch, to be honest. It's not something you see often at the railway. And that's not to say that things go wrong at the extravaganza, or as they do with most railway galas. The whole team at the Talyllyn, all the volunteers, all the Audrey Extravaganza team, everyone puts in so much work to making all these things happen. And there's a lot of different stages to the planning that I only get to see a glimpse of. Like, we're all just small cogs in a massive machine, and we're all doing it for the same reason, which is to support the Talyllyn Railway and embrace the very unique connection they've got with the Railway series and the Reverend W. Awdry. Having said that, the third extravaganza was in 2023. It's been very convenient how they've been labelled per year. Again, Wharf is like the hub of everything going on, and I was the host of the live stream that year, which was a big step up for me. I've never done something like that before. Perhaps people are regretting that now. I'm so sorry. But yes, and we were wandering around the Wharf, as we do every year, seeing all the stuff that's going on, and I believe the plan was to see Tom Rolt come in as Ivo Hugh, as he is in the books. But I didn't know whether he was meant to be called Tom Rolt or Ivo Hugh, because he's in the green, not in the red like he is in the books. So I just said both names.
Well, I can't tell if that's Tom Rolt or Ivo Hugh, because they're very similar in design.
And we were meant to have the newly unveiled coach from the Skarloey Railway, number 8 Mabel, was meant to be on that train, but they had to move it around due to capacity, had to go on another train. But part of our live stream plan was that gets revealed in the morning. We're like, ta-da, we've got a Skarloey coach for the first time ever on the railway. And yeah, that didn't happen because operationally it couldn't. That's fine, but we didn't know that until the moment. So when the train rolls in, it's just the normal Talyllyn red coaches and the Glyn Valley green coach. So I sort of panicked and flustered myself, as I do often on camera, and I was like, oh, look at these lovely coaches from the Talyllyn Railway.
And look at this lovely collection of coaches. Quite a mix. Some lovely coaches from the Talyllyn Railway that I'm sure many people will be happy to travel in. And hopefully, perhaps there's coaches from further afield, because we're certainly going to need to put all of these passengers somewhere today.
Yeah, that's exactly what we were meant to see. Maybe there'll be some Skarloey coaches later on, who knows? It didn't matter. That's just a little nugget of information that you can all learn now, that that wasn't supposed to happen, or at least we didn't think it was. But it didn't matter to anyone. Everyone had a good time. The coach has now been unveiled, obviously, and all went well. But just shows behind the camera, like, There's no time to sort of adjust and ask questions. You just sort of just got to go with it and keep talking. That's my job. Talk and talk and talk, and hopefully you gain a little bit of sense out of it. Audrey Extravaganza 4 was in 2024, you guessed it, and again, incredibly fun. I was on the live stream again, and we had a slightly refreshed team. We brought in Lucas and James and Matt, who's been sort of running it throughout all of the years, and together we came up with a even bigger plan. And my favourite bit by far was we decided to race the train with a car, who we named Car.
Car is not here. Might have to take bus. I saw him drive past. This is funny now. This is Car, everybody. We're going to get aboard Car now. Yes, please. We'll have a ride. Hello, Car.
Obviously, this isn't based on any particular Railway series story, and you might ask, why have you done this at all? But I think it's very in keeping with the books. There's a lot of different races between the trains and some other vehicle, and Car was up to the bill for that, smiling away with his face on the front of the radiator. Car is really James's Toyota, and we did a few test runs around Talyllyn just to check that Car was safe and that we could do the race properly. And you can imagine the very strange looks we got driving around with people who had no idea what we were doing. Fair enough. Seeing this happy little car darting about, and there was quite a few people taking pictures. It was quite funny. A thought came to us in the car. We were going, what if we drive past the police? Would they stop us for this? Because obviously the number plate wasn't showing. I think it originally wasn't showing, and then we made sure it was. But I thought, what if the police have a problem with this? And we Talyllyn's so small, you won't see the police. It's a small little town. We got onto the live stream, and we start the race. Everything's going well, and not 1 minute in, we drive straight past the police.
Has Car had much racing experience?
I shall need to disclose that information online.
Okay. Oh, there goes the local Talyllyn police.
They have not turned around, they were laughing. I think that means this is approved by the police.
Definitely looked at us, but we didn't really have any time to stop, so we're just like, it's fine, they'll approve of it. We just carried on. We're like, well, that's funny, that won't happen again. Later on, what happens? We're driving back after finishing the live stream, going back to Talyllyn, with the face still on, of course, because the car was triumphant. We drive past the police again. We were just parked up at the side of the road, and they definitely glance at us as we go past, but pay no attention to it, so that's good. What I'm taking from this is the police completely approve of the train versus car race. It's all very legal and safe, and we follow the speed limit, and they don't mind our little friendly, reasonably nice car.
Car will return.
Yes.
Like at the end of James Bond when they do that, James Bond will return in
Oh, yeah.
Car will return in Audrey Extravaganza 5. Yeah.
It's official. Now, as a fifth random memory that I'm just spewing off randomly, I can't talk about the Audrey Extravaganza 5 because, as of this video going out, it hasn't happened yet. But I will be making a video in the months afterwards of my experience from it. Might not be out very quickly because life is busy, but I will talk about the Railway Series weekend instead, which we did in May of 2025 to mark 80 years of the Railway Series. It was sort of a scaled down mini version of the Extravaganzas, but grand in its own right. It was still a lively atmosphere for May. There's a lot of people coming over, and we had Sir Handel and Rusty out, and Fred as well. Following the weekend itself, the official anniversary since the first book was published was on the Monday, and I was back volunteering on the railway. I was cleaner on Edward Thomas, number 4, who's obviously Peter Sam in the books, and we had a great crew that day. And I asked in the morning, I said, today is the actual anniversary. Can we put the face on again and the Railway Series headboard from the museum? And they said, yep. We called ahead and they said, yep, that's totally fine. So, happy me, I got to fire Edward Thomas for a journey, which was not Edward Thomas, Peter Sam and Edward Thomas. Depends how you look at things. I fired a train with a face on the front. That's what matters to me. But the particular memory I've got is we were coming around Big Bend into Nantgwernal Station at the end of the line, and obviously it hadn't been originally planned to have the face and the headboard on, but the only person standing on the platform with her husband, the only two people standing on the platform, was Veronica Chambers, the daughter of the Reverend W. Awdry, and who's been incredibly supportive of all our events at the Talyllyn. She was filming on the platform as we came in, and you could just see her face lit up when the train rounded the corner, and there was Peter Sam, straight from the books. And you know, she came up to us and said, "Oh, I'm so grateful you put the face and the headboard on. You know, it means a lot." And I think that just felt really special, because I think that really encapsulates that we're not just, you know, playing trains on the railway and it's all very silly and not historically accurate, running them as Thomas characters. It means a lot to a lot of people, and it's silly to think that that's not part of the Talyllyn's history at this point, and not part of railway history overall. It's played a major role, the influence of the Reverend W. Awdry, and we might as well embrace that. The Skarloey books are only a few years younger than the Talyllyn Preservation Society itself, and Audrey wrote those books to advertise it in the first place. So what I'm saying is I fully support the Audrey Extravaganzas and any railway that gets to share their connection with what the Reverend W. Awdry originally set out to do, which is to promote steam railways and volunteer groups, as he was part of one himself, and ultimately he loved trains, and you can tell that through the books, and that resonates with a lot of people. That's partly why they're such a big success. After all of that, I cannot wait to be back at the railway and playing with the trains again myself, and I hope you can all enjoy that with us. Tune into the live streams on the Talyllyn Railway YouTube channel, 18th to the 20th of July 2025. It'll be hosted by myself, Max Terrier 55 Stepney, I really should change my surname, and presenter historian Tim Dunn, from Secrets of the London Underground, the architecture that the railways built, and of course the Audrey Extravaganza. I'm really excited. There's a lot in store this year. We're throwing everything we can at it. We've got another race with Car. We've got Mike and Duke visiting from Sodor. Lots of other special trains with Sir Handel and Peter Sam. And you're just going to have to tune in to find out more. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I will see you then. A big thank you to the following channel patrons: Alex Goodman, GBH Train, D0280 Falcon, Sean Tempest, Random Thomas Fan, Dark White 73, Andrew Dyack, Reese Lee Walter, Ryan RTS, Ewan Pentland, Steam Power 4472, Jude 72, Firewind 10, Luneacres Photography, Mario Sonic 64, Elias, Soda Fox Art, TJOC 9891, Tamsy, and Insane Edward.